sun shines bright as it moves across my face. I feel the light and everything is in its place. Oh, I woke up feeling great. Today was made for me. And life is good the way it should, the way it was meant to be. And it's a beautiful day.
Years of training, money, and effort go into each moment. Early mornings, meticulous grooming, lessons, and acquiring all the necessary equipment and skill. The discipline it takes to make a beast much larger than oneself move like a ballet dancer, sail flawlessly over immovable objects, and gracefully sail over stadium jumps. Eventing was originally used as a training exercise for cavalry officers to test their agility and stamina in the field and on duty. Dressage, a test requiring the rider to memorize and perform a series of steps and paces on their horse, was used to prove not only their control, but also memorization skills. Next came cross-country, or the steeplechase as it was referred to by the cavalry. It tested long-distance stamina and agility by challenging rider and horse to jump over a solid object at breakneck speeds. The last phase, stadium jumping, was to prove the soundness of horse and rider after the grueling cross-country round. Stadium forces the rider and horse to be nimble and calculating as the poles can come down easily, resulting in a subtraction of faults, 4 faults per rail. I was born into a life of horses. From the moment I could sit upright, I was sat upright on a horse. When I was 6 years old, I began riding lessons at Dreamcrest Equestrian Center. The property is located in Port Perry, Ontario, and is owned and operated by Olympic eventers Kelly Plitz and Ian Roberts. Dreamcrest was named after Dream, Kelly's Olympic horse in the 1984 Olympic Games. The rolling hills and impeccable riding rings at Dreamcrest became not only the place where I learned to ride thanks to my lifelong friend and coach Mary Ann, but eventually became the place where I lived and worked. My first real job was selling equipment, apparel, and accessories in my mom's store, which I named Bit by Bit Tack. I would see kids my own age buying tack in order to compete in events that would scare even the bravest of soldiers. One of these kids, Waylon Roberts, eldest son of Kelly Plitz and Ian Roberts. Waylon has followed in his parents' hoofprints and is aiming for his own Olympic dreams. I recall playing Mighty Max with a 5-year-old Waylon. Hard to picture that little playmate of mine now as I watch him soar over giant walls and compete in a stadium round. If you're in the eventing world, or really just the horse world in general, it's difficult to imagine any other life. When I think of my own mom, I can't help but instantly picture her horses.
I got into horses because when I was 2, my grandparents convinced my parents that I needed a pony, which is what every 2-year-old needs, especially an unbroken pony. And I rode until I was about 10. I fell off and got a concussion and lost my love affair with horses for a short time. I was away from horses for about 10 years in my 20s, got back into it by taking riding lessons, and then it was a slippery slope. I bought my first horse, and now I have 4. And I like everything about it. I guess what I like about it is it calls on your physical abilities, your ability to handle a horse and ride, but what I like about it is the psychological aspects, because you have to develop a relationship with an animal. You can't overpower a 1,200-pound horse. You have to figure out other ways to communicate what you want and get them working in cooperation with you. And for me, that's always been, I think, the biggest reason why I enjoy it so much. And I have competed. I do enjoy competing somewhat, but I've also got into breeding and bringing along young horses, and I find that very satisfying as well. I fractured 2 joints in one of my baby fingers riding a horse for someone else when it suddenly stopped and my hand went into its neck. And I've seen people break legs, break arms, suffer concussions. But eventers are crazy, and most of them get back on and keep doing it. My passion for horses has actually crossed into my professional life. I'm a writer and editor, a regular contributor to Horse Sport magazine. It's the largest equestrian magazine in Canada. I've also do some blogging for the Canadian Sport Horse Association and Dream Pressed Equestrian Services. And occasionally I have been able to sell some equestrian related stories to the Toronto Star and the Globe and Mail, as a matter of fact. And that's always kind of cool when that happens. And my latest venture is I also do videography. And this year I've started doing videography at horse shows. It's been a great ride, figuratively speaking and literally.